al-mu'minun, the believers. With the name of Allah, the most gracious, the ever merciful. Truly, success in this life and in the hereafter does come to the believers, who turn to God in all humility in their prayer, and who keep aloof from all that is vain and idle, and who act conscientiously for the sake of purity and regularly presents the zakat, and who guard their private parts, except from their spouses, that is those whom they justly and rightfully own in proper wedlock. In that case, they are not to be blamed. But those who seek anything else to satisfy their sexual desire beyond this, it is they who are the transgressors, and who look after their trusts and their covenants, and who are strict in the observance of their prayers. It is they who are the real heirs, who will own paradise, where they shall abide forever. We create a human being from an extract of clay. Then we reduce him to a drop of sperm and place him in a safe depository. Then we form the sperm into a clot. Then we develop the clot into a lump of flesh. Then we fashion bones out of this lump of flesh. Then we clothe the bones with flesh. Thereafter we evolve him into another being. Therefore, blessed be Allah, the best of creators. Then, as you have passed these 7 stages of physical creation, parallel to the above 7 spiritual stages, you are heading towards death. Then, after death, you will certainly be raised up to life on the day of resurrection. And we have created above you 7 ways, and we never have been neglectful of the needs of the creation. And we send down water out of the cloud according to a certain measure, and we lodge it in the earth as long as it is required. And remember, surely it is we who determine its taking away through the process of evaporation and many other processes. And then with it, we grow for you gardens of date palms and vines, and you have plenty of fruit in these gardens, and of these fruit you eat. And with the water we produce a tree which grows on Mount Sinai, which bears in it oil, and supplies a condiment for those who use it for food. And you have an evidence in the creation of the cattle too, which should lead you from ignorance to knowledge. We give you to drink of that milk which is in their bellies. You derive many other benefits from them, and you also get food from some of them. You are born on them as well as on the ships. And we sent Noah to his people, and he said, O my people, worship Allah alone. You have no God other than He. Will you not then guard against evil and seek His protection? But the chiefs of those who disbelieved from among his people said, He is nothing but a human being like yourselves. Only he seeks to assert his superiority over you. And if Allah had so willed, He could have certainly sent down angels with him. We have never heard of this sort of a thing happen in the times of our fathers of old. He is but a man gone mad. You had better bear with him for a while and see the consequences. Noah said, praying, My Lord, help me, for they treat me as a liar. Then we sent our revelation to him, directing him, Make the ark under our eyes, and according to the dictates of our revelation. And when the time of our judgment comes, and the waters of the valley gush forth, then embark therein, 2 of every species, a pair of everything that you may need, and your companions, except those of them against whom our word of condemnation for their misdeeds have already gone forth. But do not plead with me in favor of those who have acted unjustly, for they are doomed to be drowned. Then when you and your companions are seated perfectly well in the ark, say, praying, all true and perfect praise belongs to Allah, who has delivered us from the wicked people. And say while praying, my Lord, enable me to make a blessed landing, for you are the best of those who provide people with the fairest landing place. Verily, this account of Noah is full of many signs. Surely, thus do we reveal the hidden truth about the people, and we did try the people of Noah. Then we raised another generation after them, and we sent to them a messenger from among themselves, who said, Worship Allah. You have no other God other than He. Will you not, then, guard against evil deeds? And the chiefs of his people who disbelieved, and cried lies to the meeting with the Lord in the hereafter, and whom we had given ease and comfort in the present life, said, He is but a human being like yourselves. He eats of the food which you eat, and drinks of the drinks which you drink. And surely if you obey a human being like yourselves, you will then be the losers indeed. Does he promise you that when you are dead and reduced to dust and bones, you shall be brought forth alive again from the graves? How very far and away from the truth and understanding is that which you are promised. There is no life beyond our present life. It is here we die, and here we live. And we shall not at all be raised up to life again, so that there awaits us no resurrection. He is only an ordinary man who has forged a lie in the name of Allah, and we are not at all going to believe in him. He said, praying, My Lord, help me, for they treat me as a liar. The Lord said, They shall be remorseful before long, when caught by some punishment. Then the punishment overtook them justly and rightfully, and we made them as scum of the flood. So the people who do wrong are far removed from the mercy of God. Then we raised other generations after them. No community can go ahead of its appointed time, and thus manage to escape their doom, nor can they remain behind it or delay it. Then we sent our messengers successively, one after the other. Whenever there came to a community its messenger of God, they treated him as a liar. So we made some of them follow others to destruction, and we reduced them to mere legendary tales. Therefore, the people who do not believe are far removed from the mercy of their Lord. Then we sent Moses and his brother Aaron with our messages and a clear authority to Pharaoh and his courtiers, but they waxed proud, for they were a haughty type of people. And they said, Shall we believe in two human beings like ourselves, while their people, the Israelites, are our bondsmen? So they cried lies to both of them. With the result, they became of those who were destroyed. And after this event, we gave Moses the book, so that they, his people, might receive guidance through it. And we made the son of Mary and his mother a sign, and a model of virtue. And we gave them both refuge upon a worth-living lofty plateau, abounding in green and fruitful valleys and springs of running water. O you messengers, eat of the things which are clean, good, and pure, and thus do good works. Verily, I am well aware of what you do. Surely know that this community of yours is in fact one community, and your religion one religion, and I am your Lord, so take me as your shield. But the people, rather than preserve their unity, split up their affair among themselves, forming themselves into factions, considering each portion thus split up as the real scripture, every faction rejoicing in that which was with them. So leave them in their utter confusion due to their ignorance for a time. Do they think that because of what we go on adding to their worldly wealth and children, we are in a hurry to do them good? Nay, but they do not realize the true state of things. As for those who out of the majesty of their Lord are full of awe and reverence to him, and those who believe in the revelations of their Lord, and those who associate not partners with their Lord, and those who give whatever they can afford to give as alms in the way of their Lord, while their hearts tremble at the thought that they are returning to their Lord, and whether their deeds will find his approval or not. It is they who are quick and eager to do good works, to outdo others, and it is they who are the foremost for these. And we do not lay down responsibility upon any soul beyond its capacity, and we have a book which speaks and acts justly, and no injustice is done to anyone. Nay, there the disbelievers' minds are in utter confusion due to ignorance about this Quran, and they are engrossed in deeds different from the bindings of revelations, and they go on doing them. Yet as soon as we take those of them given to a life of luxury to task, behold, they start appealing for succor. Whereupon it will be said to them, do not appeal for succor this day. You shall receive no help from us. My messages were recited to you, but you used to turn back on your heels, treating them with disdain and arrogance, talking nonsense about this Quran by night in your meetings. You gave it up. Have they not then pondered over the divine word? As a matter of fact, there has come to them that which had not come to their fathers of old. Or do they deny their messenger because they do not recognize him? Or do they say, he is possessed? Nay, but the fact is that he has brought them the truth, while most of them are averse to the truth. And had the eternal truth followed their vain and low desires, the heavens and the earth and all those who are living in them would have surely gone to ruin. But we have brought them that which will raise them to eminence, yet they are turning aside from their own means of raising them to eminence. Or do you ask of them a tribute? There is no such thing as the tribute of your Lord is the best, for he is the best of providers. And most surely you are calling them to a straight and right path. But those who do not believe in the hereafter are indeed deviating from that path. And even if we had shown them mercy and relieved them of their distress, they would still persist in their transgression, wandering on blindly. And we did seize them with punishment in the past, but they did not humble themselves before their Lord, nor would they supplicate to him for mercy. Behold, no sooner did we let loose on them a severe punishment than that they are utterly despaired of God's mercy thereat. And disbelievers, it is he who has given you ears, eyes, and hearts, yet little is the gratitude you express. And it is he who has multiplied you in the earth, and to him you shall be gathered. It is he who gives life and causes death, and he alone controls the alternation of night and day. Will you not then make use of your understanding? But rather than trying to understand, they repeated what the former people had said. They had said, "What? Shall we be certainly raised up to life when we are dead and reduced to mere dust and bones? Surely we and our forefathers have already been given such promises before. These are nothing but just fables of the former people." Ask, tell me, if you know whom the earth and all the creatures therein belong to? They will certainly say, "To Allah." Thereupon say, will you still pay no heed? Say, who is the Lord of the 7 heavens and the Lord of the great throne of power? They will surely say, they all belong to Allah. Say, will you not then guard against refusal and evil deeds? Ask, tell me, if you know who it is in whose hand lies the dominating control of everything, and who protects all while against whom no protection can be had. They will indeed say, all these attributes belong to Allah. Say, how and whither are you then being led away? The thing is that we have brought them the truth about the unity of God, but they are sticking to lies by refusing it repeatedly. Allah has taken to himself no son, nor is there any other God along with him. Had there been any, each God would have left with what he had created, and some of them would have surely dominated over others. Holy is Allah, far above all they attribute to him. He has knowledge of both the hidden and the manifest realities. He is highly exalted above all the things they associate with him. Say in prayer, my Lord, if you should show me in my lifetime that punishment they are threatened with, my Lord, then do not leave me among the wrongdoing people. As a matter of fact, we have every power of showing you in your lifetime that punishment we threaten them with. Repel their evil by repaying it with that which is the fairest. We know very well the things they allege about you. And say in prayer, my Lord, I seek refuge in you from the mischief mongerings of the rebellious people. Rather, I also seek refuge in you, my Lord, lest they should even come near me. Behold, when death approaches one of them, the rebellious ones, he says, send me back, my Lord, send me back, so that I may do righteous deeds which I failed to do in the worldly life. Never, that can never be, is the answer he receives. It is but a word of excuse which he utters, and there is a barrier between them which shall remain till the day when they shall be raised to life again. So when the trumpet is blown, ties of kinship will cease to exist between them that day, nor will they ask after one another. Then on that day there shall be a true weighing, so that whose scales are heavy and their deeds of righteousness preponderant and manifold, it is they who are the triumphant. But whose scales are light and their deeds of righteousness of no account, it is they who have ruined their souls, and who shall abide in Gehenna for long. The fire shall scorch their faces, so they will lie there disfigured with burning, and they will wear a grin of pain and anguish. It will be said to them, is it not true that my messages were recited to you, but you went on crying them lies? They will say, our Lord, our misfortune got the better of us, and we were actually an erring people. Our Lord, deliver us from this. We shall indeed be unjust if we return to our evil ways of disobedience. God will say, "Begone with you, despised therein, and do not speak to me." There was a section from among my servants who said, "Our Lord, we believe, so protect us against our sins, and have mercy on us, for you are the best of those who show mercy." But you treated them as a laughingstock, and you continued to laugh at them until that ridicule made you give up even my remembrance, while you ever went on laughing at them. This day I have rewarded them for their patient endurance, so that they are the ones who have attained their goals and achieved bliss. God will then say, "What number of years have you tarried on the earth?" They will say, "We tarried only for a day or part of a day. We have no exact idea, but ask those who keep the count." God will say, "You tarried but a little while. If only you knew what loss you have incurred by missing doing good." Did you then think that we had created you without purpose, and that you would not be brought back to us? Whereas highly exalted is Allah, the monarch, the truly existing one. There is no other, cannot be, and will never be one worthy of worship but He, the Lord of the glorious throne. And he who calls upon another God along with Allah, for the Godhead of which he has no proof, shall have to render an account to his Lord. Certainly, such disbelievers will never gain their object. And say in your prayer, "My Lord, protect and have mercy, and you are the best of those who show mercy." Al-Nur, the light. With the name of Allah, the most gracious, the ever merciful. This is a highly dignified surah which we have revealed, and the ordinances of which we have made obligatory, and we have revealed it in clear commandments, so that you may rise to great eminence. Strike the fornicatress and adulteress, and the fornicator and adulterer on the body of each of them 100 times. This is the extreme limit, and let no feelings of pity for the two hold you from obedience to Allah in executing His judgment. If you believe in Allah and the last day, and let a section of the believers be present there at the time of the execution of their punishment. The fornicator and adulterer cannot have sexual relations without lawful marriage, except with a fornicatress and adulteress, or polytheistic woman of low morality. And the fornicatress and adulteress, none can have sexual relations with her except a fornicator and adulterer, or a polytheistic man of low morality. And this adultery and fornication is forbidden to the believers. Strike 80 times on the bodies of those who calumniate chaste women, and who do not support their accusation with 4 witnesses, and never accept their testimony, because it is they who are the disobedient and break the law. Except those who repent after this and make amends, they will find Allah the great protector, ever merciful. And those who charge their wives of adultery and have no witnesses to support their charge except their own selves, let each husband bear testimony, repeating it 4 times over, calling Allah to witness that he is surely of those who speak the truth in the matter of charging his wife of adultery. And the 5th time he should say on oath that Allah's wrath be upon him if he be of the liars. But it shall avert the punishment from her if she, calling Allah to witness, testifies 4 times over that he is of the liars in bringing this charge against her. And the 5th time she should say on oath that the wrath of Allah be upon her if he, the husband, has spoken the truth about her. But for Allah's grace and his mercy which rest upon you, and but for the fact that Allah is oft returning with compassion, all wise, you would have come to grief. Verily, those hypocrites who brought the false accusation against Aisha, the wife of the Prophet, are a section of your own people. Do not think this incident to be bad for you. Rather, it is good for you. As for the accusers, every one of them shall receive his due punishment according to that which he has accomplished in the form of sin. As for him who among them took the principal part thereof, there awaits him a grievous punishment. When you heard of this accusation, why did not the believing men and believing women have a better opinion in respect of their own people, and say, this charge is an obvious lie? Why did they, the fabricators of this charge, not bring 4 witnesses in support of this accusation of theirs? Since they failed to produce the required witnesses, it is they who are the very liars in the sight of Allah. But for the fact that Allah has shown his grace and mercy to you in the present world, and in the next a great punishment would have certainly befallen you on account of that slander which you spread. When some of you began to learn this slander from each other's tongues, you gave tongue to that rumor, and made statements of which you had no knowledge, and you considered it a trivial thing, while it was grave in the sight of Allah. And why did you not say, as soon as you heard of it, it does not behove us to talk like this? Holy are you, O gracious God! This is a monstrous calumny. If you are true believers, you should bear in mind that Allah admonishes you never to repeat such a thing again. And Allah explains to you his commandments, and Allah is all-knowing, all-wise. Those who love to spread immorality among the believers will have a woeful punishment in this world and the next. And Allah knows while you do not know the consequences of this evil. But for the grace of Allah and his mercy that rest upon you, and but for the fact that Allah is most compassionate, ever merciful, none of you would have ever been so chaste and pure. O you who believe, do not follow the footsteps of Satan. He that follows the footsteps of Satan should remember that he, Satan, surely enjoins immorality and indecency. But for the grace of Allah and his mercy that rest upon you, not one of you would have ever been pure, but Allah purifies him who wishes to be purified. And Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. And let not those of you who are possessed of grace, with moral virtue, and of plenty of riches, like Abu Bakr, swear that they will give nothing to the kindred, the needy, and those who have left their homes for the cause of Allah. But let them forgive and forbear the offense. Do you not desire that Allah should protect you against your faults? And Allah is great protector, ever merciful. Those who calumniate chaste, unwary, innocent believing women stand cursed in the present life and the hereafter, and there awaits them a grievous punishment. On the day of requital, when their tongues and their hands and their feet shall bear witness against them for the evil deeds they used to do. On that day, Allah will pay them in full for their just dues, and they shall know that Allah alone is the absolute truth, and as well makes the truth manifest. The evil and impure deeds are a characteristic of impure people, and the bad and impure people are inclined towards the bad and impure deeds. Similarly, good and pure deeds are a characteristic of good and pure people, and the good and pure people are inclined towards good and pure deeds. It is they the good and pure, who are innocent of all that they, the accusers, may allege about them. There awaits them protection and an honorable and generous provision. O you who believe, do not enter houses other than your own, unless you have obtained willing permission, and mind, you should greet the inmates of these houses. That is better for you. You have been given this commandment that you may be heedful. But if you find nobody in them, do not enter therein, unless you have got from the owners or the rightful caretaker previous permission, and go back if you are told to go back. That would be pure and best for you. Indeed, Allah is well aware of all that you do. It is no sin on your part to enter freely non-residential houses wherein your goods are lying, and Allah knows all that you profess and all that you conceal. Tell the believers to restrain their looks in the presence of women not closely related to them, and so lawful for marriage, and guard their chastity. That is purer and best for them. Surely Allah is well aware of what they do. And tell the believing women to restrain their looks, also in the presence of men who are not near of kin and so lawful for marriage, and guard their chastity, and not to disclose their natural and make-up beauty except such as cannot be helped, and is apparent, and draw their head coverings over their bosoms, and they should not display their beauty save to their husbands, or to their fathers, or to their fathers-in-law, or to their own sons, or to the sons of their husbands, or to their own brothers, or to the sons of their brothers, or to the sons of their sisters, or their women who are their decent companions, or to their bondsmen, or to such of their male attendants as have no sexual appetite, or to such young children as have yet no knowledge of the hidden parts of women. And let them not strike the ground with their feet, so that which they must hide of their beauty or adornment may become known. And, O believers, turn to Allah, one and all, that you may attain true happiness and your ultimate goal. Arrange marriages for those who are single, and for the males and females who serve you, and are deserving and fit to lead a married life. If they are poor, Allah will grant them means out of His bounty. Bountiful is Allah, all-knowing. And those who find no means of marriage should exercise restraint, and keep themselves chaste until Allah grants them means to marry out of His grace and bounty. There is another commandment, as for those of your bondsmen or women, as ask for a written contract of freedom for themselves on payment of ransom. Write this deed of manumission for them, provided you find good capabilities in them, and give them out of Allah's wealth, which He has given you. Another commandment for you is that, with a mind to gain by this unrighteous means, the benefits of the present life do not constrain your slave girls to unchaste life by keeping them unmarried, when they desire to marry to preserve their virtue. But if anybody forces them to abstain from marrying and to become unchaste, they will find after they are forced that God is most forgiving, ever merciful. And we have sent down to you revelations which explain to you the truth, and have also revealed some accounts of those who have passed away before you. And we have sent in addition an exhortation for those who guard against evil. Allah is the extensive light of the heavens and the earth. His light can be compared to a lustrous pillar on which is a lamp. The lamp is inside a crystal globe. The globe of glass is as if it were a glittering star. It is lit by the oil of a blessed olive tree, which belongs neither to the east nor to the west, rather wells the whole world in its fold. Its oil is likely to glow forth of itself, even if no fire touch it. This lamp is a combination of many lights over and over. Allah guides towards His light whoever desires to be enlightened. And Allah sets forth excellent parables for the people, and Allah alone has full knowledge of everything. This light is now lit in houses of the companions which Allah has ordained to be exalted, and His name to be commemorated in them. Therein are such as glorify Him in the mornings and the evenings. Men whom neither trade nor sale distracts from exalting the name of Allah, and from the observance of prayer, and from presenting zakat regularly. They dread the day when the hearts and the eyes will be in a state of agitation and anguish, with the result that Allah will give them the reward according to their fairest deeds, and will even give them much more by His grace and bounty. And Allah does provide without measure to whom He will. And as to those who disbelieve, their deeds are like a mirage in a desert. The thirsty man assumes it to be water until he comes up to it and finds it is nothing at all. And instead of water by his side, he finds that Allah has always been present with him, and he then pays him his account in full, and Allah is swift at reckoning. For the deeds of the disbelievers are like thick utter darkness of the fathomless deep sea, waves on top of which there are higher waves, covering its surface, which is overcast by clouds. These are layers of darkness piled one upon the other, so that a person, however much he may try, can hardly see his hand when he holds it out. Indeed, there is no light at all for the person whom Allah gives no light. Have you not pondered that it is Allah whose praises celebrate those who are in the heavens and on the earth, and so do the birds on the wings? Each one of them knows his own way of prayer and glorification, and Allah knows well what they do. And to Allah belongs the sovereignty of the heavens and the earth, and to Allah shall all human beings eventually return. Have you not seen that Allah drives the clouds steadily? Then He draws them together, and then He makes them piled up so that you can see the rain pouring forth from their midst. And He sends down clouds looking like mountains, wherein is hail, and He smites with them whom He pleases, and averts them from whom He pleases. The brilliant flash of its lightning almost snatches away the sight, rendering the eyes sometimes blind. Allah sets the cycle of the night and the day. Surely in this law of retardation and acceleration, working in this phenomenon of nature, is indeed a lesson about the spiritual evolution of a human being for those possessed of understanding. And Allah has created every animal from water. Some of them move upon their bellies, and some move upon 2 feet, and some among them move upon 4. Allah creates what He pleases. Verily, Allah is possessor of every power to do what He will. We have certainly sent down revelations which explain the truth, and Allah guides him who desires to be guided to the exact right path. And some of the people say, "We believe in Allah and the Messenger, and obey them." But even after professing this, a section of them, the hypocrites, turn away. Such are no believers at all. When they are summoned before Allah and His Messenger, that He may judge between them, lo, a party of them turn away. But if they consider that the right is on their side, they come to Him running, showing submission. Is it that their minds are diseased? Or do they suffer from doubts? Or do they fear that Allah and His Messenger will deal with them unjustly? Nay, wrong are their misgivings. It is they themselves who are the unjust. The only response of the believers when they are summoned before Allah and His Messenger, so that He may judge between them, is that they say, "We hear and we obey." It is they who will attain their goal. And those who obey Allah and His Messenger, and hold Allah in awe, and take Him as a shield for protection, it is they who shall be triumphant. They, the hypocrites, swear to Allah by their most earnest oaths, that if you only command them for defensive fight, they will certainly march forth from their homes. Say, do not swear. Only reasonable obedience in what is right and lawful is all that is required from you. Surely Allah is aware of what you do. Say, obey Allah and obey the Messenger. But if you turn your back, remember that He, the Messenger, is responsible for what He is charged with, and you are responsible for what you are charged with. Indeed, if you obey Him, you will be following the right path. The messenger is not responsible but for the delivery of the message to all in clear terms. Allah has promised those of you who believe and do deeds of righteousness that surely He will make them successors on the earth, as He made successors from among their predecessors, and that He will surely establish for them their faith which He has approved for them, and that He will surely replace their state of fear with a state of security and peace. They will worship Me alone, and they will not associate anything with Me. And those who show ingratitude for all the favors done to them after that, it is they who will be reckoned as the worst disobedient. And believers, observe the prayer, keep on presenting the zakat, and obey the messenger that you may be shown mercy. Think not that those who disbelieve can ever be able to frustrate our plan on the earth and escape us. Their abode is fire. What an evil resort! O you who believe, it is binding on those whom your right hands possess, and those of your children who have not reached the age of puberty to ask your permission before coming into your private rooms in 3 instances: before the morning prayer, and when you lay aside your clothes due to the heat in summer, at noon, and after the night prayer. These are 3 times when your privacy should be respected. At other times, no blame shall lie on you or them if they come to you without permission, for they have to move about waiting upon you, some of you attending upon others according to need. That is how Allah explains to you His commandments, for Allah is all-knowing, all-wise. When the children among you reach the age of puberty, they too should seek permission to come to your rooms, just as those elderly people mentioned before them do. That is how Allah explains to you His commandments, and Allah is all-knowing, all-wise. And as to the elderly spinsters who are past childbearing age, and who do not hope for sexual intercourse, it is no offense for them to lay aside their outer garments, provided they do not do it to display their beauty. But if they abstain even from that, it is much better for them. Indeed, Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. There is no bar on and not improper for the blind, nor is there any bar on nor improper for the lame, nor is any bar on nor improper for the sick, nor on your people that you eat from your own houses, or the houses of your fathers and children, or the houses of your mothers, or the houses of your brothers, or the houses of your sisters, or the houses of your paternal uncles, or the houses of your paternal aunts, or the houses of your maternal uncles, or the houses of your maternal aunts, or from that of which the keys are in your possessions, or from the house of a friend of yours. No blame lies on you whether you eat together or separately. And when you enter houses, greet your people present therein with the salutation prescribed by Allah, a salutation full of blessings and purity. That is how Allah explains to you His commandments, that you may abstain from evils. True believers are only those who believe in Allah and His Messenger, and who, when they are with Him, upon any matter of common importance which has brought them together, Do not leave the messenger until they have asked permission of him. Surely it is those who ask your permission who truly believe in Allah and his messenger. So when they ask your permission for some urgent and important affair of their own, give your permission to whom you will of them, and ask Allah's protection for them. Verily, Allah is great protector, ever merciful. Believers, do not treat the call of the messenger among yourselves like the call of one of you to another. Allah indeed knows those of you who sneak away stealthily from the conference. So let those who go against his command beware, lest some calamity should befall them or they receive some painful punishment. Beware, whatever is in the heavens and on the earth belongs to Allah. He ever knows in what state you are, and he knows what you are holding on to. The day when all people shall be made to return to him, he will tell them all they had been doing, for Allah is the possessor of full knowledge of everything. Al-Furqan, the standard of truth and falsehood. With the name of Allah, the most gracious, the ever merciful. Blessed is he who revealed Al-Furqan to his servant, that he may be a warner to all the peoples. It is he to whom the sovereignty of the heavens and the earth belongs, and he has begotten nor taken to himself a son, nor is there any associate with him in the sovereignty. He has created everything and has determined its proper measure. Yet people worship apart from him gods who, rather than create anything, are themselves created, and who have no power of averting harm or doing good to themselves, nor have they any control over death or life or resurrection. But those who believe say, this Quran is nothing but a big lie, which he, the false claimant to prophethood, has forged, and other people have helped him in this. By so saying, they have perpetrated a great injustice and a big falsehood. They also say this Quran consists of fables of the ancients that he has got written down, and now they are read out to him morning and evening. Say, he who knows every secret of the heavens and the earth has revealed this Quran. Verily, he is great protector, ever merciful. They say, what sort of a messenger is this, that he even eats food and also goes about in the marketplaces? Why has no angel been sent down to him that he may help him and be a warner along with him? Or a treasure should have been sent to him, or there should have been a garden from which he might eat. Not only that, these unjust people say, you follow none but a mere man who is given food. Look what fantastic stories they concoct with regard to you. It is therefore that they have gone astray and are unable to find a way. Blessed is he who is pleased to assign to you better than that, gardens served with running streams, and will also assign to you palaces. Nay, the real fact is, they, the disbelievers, cry lies to the hour of the evil doom of the disbelievers and final victory of the Muslims, and we have in store a blazing hell for him who cries lies to the hour. When it, the blazing fire, sees them from afar, they will hear its raging and roaring. And when they are thrown into some narrow place of it, chained in fetters, they will call out for total destruction there and then. It will be said to them, this is no time to call out for a single death. You had better call out for a series of deaths. Say, is this end better, or the everlasting paradise which is promised to those who guard against evil, and which is their due reward and ultimate resort? They shall have there all that they desire, and they will abide in this state of bliss forever. It is a promise binding on your Lord. and to be always earnestly prayed for from him. Beware of the day when he will gather them together and the things they worship apart from Allah. He will ask, was it you who led these servants of mine astray, or did they themselves stray away from the right path? They will say, holy is your name. It did not behoove us to take patrons apart from you. But you bestowed on them and their fathers the good things of life to such an extent that they gave up remembrance of you and became a ruined people. Then we shall say to the idol worshippers, now these deities have given you the lie and contradict you with regard to what you said. So today you have no power to avert the penalty or get help of any sort for yourselves. Remember, whosoever of you acts unjustly and goes wrong, we shall make him suffer a great punishment. And we sent no messengers before you, but they surely ate food and walked in the marketplaces, and were human models for you to follow in every walk of life. And we try you one with another to show if you will then patiently persevere. And your Lord is ever all-seeing.